One, two, three. We're speaking here this morning on the program to Dave Arrindell, aka Super Dave, and we're gonna have a beautiful conversation with him. We're gonna go down memory lane this morning and talk about a lot of history and sports. And this man has a wealth of information. So without further ado, let's go over to Super Dave, as he's known. How you doing,
I'm
Mr.
doing
Arrindell?
good. I'm doing good, Mr. Aventry, and thanks for having me, my brother.
All right, the pleasure is all ours. So let's start off with telling the people, man, who is Super Dave and how did you get our name Super Dave?
Well, Super Dave is the son of Rose, Mary Arrindell, and Frederick Arrindell, both deceased. And I got the name from William Marlin.
What?
William Marlin is who gave me the name Super Dave because, as you can recall, in those days, William Marlin used to print the champion papers.
Correct, the
And
Champion Review.
yes, and I always was interested in it. He always gave me a copy. And I was very interested in sports. And he always called me Super Dave.
All
So
right.
he's the one who gave me that name.
So now let's start off with your own. I from some of those Champion Review newspapers, I saw that you played some baseball. I think baseball was your most preferred sport.
Oh, yeah.
Tell us a bit about your history in baseball. How did you get involved in baseball? Where did you start? How did you learn the game of baseball?
Well, the game, I don't know if you remember, there was a Dutchman, American guy named Wassel from America. He brought in a bunch of gloves here to St. Maarten. He was involved with Raoul Illich.
Okay, I heard about him.
And he gave us a bunch of gloves and stuff like that. And he cleaned off which part the school is right now here, the academy school is right now there. They clean off that with a grader and they make it a playing field, and we used to go practice up there, I think twice a week. And then I got involved, I was living in Cahill, so then, with Kenneth, Boyko, Mickey, and the Bonner Martin, we decided to form a team. So there is where we started and formed the Cahill Tigers. And that was in 1971.
1971.
1971, we formed the CHT, which is Cahill Tigers.
So in those days there were no league or anything like that.
No, just like Bush League.
Bush League.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we formed the team in 71, and then we started competition in 1972. And there were some teams like from Saunders, which was Shell. They was run by Chuchu Maduro. Then there was Cahill, run by Jobe, Lawrence Thomas, and David Osavius. Then there was Cool de Sac, which was done by Odin Scott.
Okay.
Then there was Colby, that was done by, I think it was, what's his name, Mandola.
What?
And then it was the French side, done by Sean with the Yankees.
Okay.
So those were the 5 teams that we played for in those days from 72 on until 75.
And where you guys used to play in those days?
Right here at the, how you call it, the Cooper Ball Park.
The Jose Lake
Jose
ballpark.
Lake Ball Park, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'll tell you the truth is, right, before we play, we have to make sure we get rid of all the cow dung, make sure that everything is clean, and that the big pumpkin trees in the place, so we make sure to clean it up.
Clean up everything.
Clean up everything, and we play ball, and that was the joy and beauty about it.
So you mentioned a few names that was on the Cahill Tigers back in those days. Run down that list of names again for the listeners. Some of your teammates in the days.
My teammates, it was myself, Dave Arrindell, Kenneth James.
What position you were playing in
I
those?
was third base.
Wow. That's
Kenneth,
a hot corner.
Yes. And
Kenneth was what? First
Kenneth
base?
was first base.
And he used to pitch, if I'm
And he used to
mistaken.
play sometime, but he was me first base. Only when we in trouble, he used to come to fire truck. So he'd come in out the fire.
Okay.
Then it was Bob on the mark, second base. Gensley Barboda was shortstop.
Okay.
Then
that
it was
name.
Louis Butte in left field, or Leroy Flan in left field. Then we
Leroy
had
Flan.
Leroy Flan from town. We had 3 town players in our team.
Okay.
It was Leroy Flan, Vernon Richards, and Bonzo Joseph Leonard, known as Bonzo.
Okay.
But Richards, Vernon was our center fielder, and Tony Gibbs used to play right field, or Vidal Cathy, the deceased.
Okay, Vital, yeah, yeah,
He
yeah,
used to play
yeah.
those are the right fielders. And our pitchers was Boyko, Pedro.
Pedro Rumbly.
Yeah, then we had Nicky Huggins.
Uh-huh.
Then we had Joseph Bryson, better known as Riggety. And then we had Richard van der Mark. Those were our pitchers.
Wow, Richard used to pitch. I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
he was our fifth starter, yeah.
And who managed you guys in those days?
Our first man was my uncle was Jobe, Lawrence Thomas, and David Eusebius.
Okay.
Reno. And then after, I think in 74, Nell James took it over. And he started managing the team. But Jobe and Reno started off. We had about over 50 guys in Cahill, but then they were not able to age, like Ernie, Joel.
They were still young, too young to play.
Yeah.
So who was the main back in those days? Which team was running things? Because I know the dominance of the Cahill Tigers came in at some point. But what team was dominating in back in the early 70s like that?
In the league?
In the league that you guys were playing in.
That was me, my brother.
Yeah.
Our competition was Saunders. Saunders had like Paul LaBega, Erno LaBega, Dykoff.
Okay.
And then they had the James brothers. One was Andre James and Rene James. One was a pitcher, one was a catcher.
Okay.
Those guys were good, but they couldn't get over us.
They couldn't hold.
No, we lost 2 games, my brother. 2 games we lost in the time that we were playing. That was to Kobe and to Marigot.
Okay. Well, remember any of the players playing for Marigot back in those days?
I could remember Sean. I can't remember the other guys' numbers. I remember Sean for sure. He was a little white fellow. He was one of they used to call themselves the Mets.
The Mets.
Yeah.
Okay. So how long you remained playing for the Cahill Tigers? Because I know at some point you went over, you moved on to start to play for a different team.
Yes, I played until 1978, and then 79, I went to play with the Seaview Gladiators.
Seaview Gladiators.
Yeah.
But that was Seaview Gladiators. It was a tongue team.
Yes.
So why you change teams? Why you change? You move out of Cahill and decide to win tongue to live?
No, we had a little little differences or little personal things. So I decided before to escalate it and make a big thing of it, to just decide to move on. And I played 2 years with the Cahill Tigers, big team, before I went to Gladiators. Because from Little League, from Junior League, went to, then we formed a big team, the Cahill Tigers. And then I played until 78, and then we had a little couple with me and Billy Martin. So I said before I got myself in trouble, I just walked.
You left the team.
And I left the team. I went to sign up with
So who was on the Seaview Rebels back? Seaview Gladiators. I mean Seaview Rebels. Seaview Rebels was a basketball team.
That was Jose Slack, Orange.
Okay, yeah.
He was a third baseman.
So you had to move to a different spot then.
Correct. Then they had Bobby Flan. He was a shortstop. Then they had Clement. That was Brat.
Wow, Brat used to play.
Yeah.
He used to play
baseball too, and a very good center fielder.
What?
Then we had.
I heard about him in football, but I didn't know you used to play baseball as well.
Then we had the Barry brothers, which was Tony and the deceased now, I can't remember,
Baba, yeah. He was a pitcher.
Yeah, then Georgie, Cathy also was a very good outfielder.
I heard about George Cathy. That's the brother of John Cathy.
Correct.
Yeah.
That guy could. You think John Curran? That guy could run. Let me tell you something. That guy run from first base on a base hit, score, and when they're looking for him, he was sitting in the dugout. And they didn't want to put the points up that he scored because nobody seen him.
Nobody saw.
He was quick, boss. Yeah, and then that basic. Then they had Toto, Walter. He was the thing, and Buck Jones, I think, was the manager from that thing then.
Okay.
Oh, and Marvin Babachu. I forget Marvin Babachu was our center fielder there too.
Okay. So what position you
I used to catch.
you used to catch at that time? Yeah, yeah. Because I
I
remember you. I remember you catching, but that was in the 80s. I think you used to catch for what the island material. No.
used to catch for the thing, and I catch for the lions. For Island Material Lions,
Island Material Lions. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah. That was a team I think was with
Tampico, Joe,
Tampico,
my Uncle Leche, the same, Joe Bay, Calvin, and all of them.
Calvin Brooks.
Yes.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Correct, correct. I think Alvin Romley was on that team as well with
Correct.
Oyo
Yeah, correct. You got it.
and Kenneth Bryson.
Yes.
If I'm mistaken. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I just come on the scene then when that happened. So when did you retire officially from baseball?
I played until 1988. And then I gave it up, and I turned into softball, and that kicked off and went to the next level again.
So if you look back at your career in baseball, what would you say would be one of the most memorable moments or the biggest achievements that you look back today and say, hey, listen, that's something that really, really, really stand out with me. I'm really proud of that, you know.
Going to St. Thomas and hitting that triple off the hospital wall.
Wow.
That with the civil gladiators. When we went to St. Thomas with Louis Richardson, which is better known as Pork Chop.
Pork chop.
Yeah, they carried us to St. Thomas to play a series. And the first at bat hit triple off of the right field wall. And I ran a triple and wanted to know how that big guy could move so fast. And that was we didn't win the game, but that was my highlight.
No, a lot of talk back in the days that the talent that the level of talent that we had on the island baseball wise, any of the guys them that you played with that you say, boy, they could have really made it to the majors, or maybe what was the situation back in those days to try to make it professional, or even stuff to try to get in the focus to go off the island?
Just on the mouthful they haven't today. They had a lot of them. I could name them all. Kenneth, Boyko, Papillon, Ange, Bob on the Mark, Vernon. We had Marvin Bubba Tree. You understand? We had even Gensley Balboa that was so good. Boyko was pitching Mickey Hoggins.
What was the restriction in those days to get?
We didn't have no scouts here, my brother.
Yeah.
Nobody scout us. We had no scouts in St. Maarten scout us to say, come let me look. Okay, we played like some games against Curacao and Aruba when they came down here to play in St. Thomas and St. Croix. You understand? But that's about it. We used to go to St. Croix to play. And some people also said that, hey, I got good talent, but we didn't have nobody to scout us. And then a couple, about 10 years after, Van Hannigan was nominated as a scout for the Baltimore Orioles.
Van Hannigan, which Van Hannigan?
Van Hannigan, he worked in the bank here, but he used to work at the bank here. Duncan father.
Oh, Calito.
He was a scout for the thing, but then it was too late for
Too late for that generation.
Our generation. But we had a good bit of talent.
Now practicing because we know over the years St. Maarten, where you guys used to practice.
We used to practice in Cahill on the golf course. Because the golf course, a driving range golf course, right? And we used to practice on there when they're not playing golf or playing football. We used to practice on there. There was our practice ground.
So how much times a week you guys used to practice back in those days? Almost every day.
Almost every day. Because once somebody hitting the golf ball, we go down, go play ball. And in the afternoon time when the footballers come, we had to go out, get out of the field.
Get off the field.
So we used to take advantage, come from school, we do our homework, straight on the golf course and play ball.
Now, besides baseball, any other sports you were active in during your younger years?
Yes, I played some football, but I wasn't went to faithful because the first game I played, I got a kick in my side, and then the same night I had to go take out my appendix, so I said, no.
Wow.
Done with that.
Afgeschreven. Afgeschreven. That's it. You ain't bothered with that.
I ain't bothered with that no more, but we used to play, and they used to play basketball, and they used to play softball. I stick with the softball. And I travel a lot with softball, man.
So which teams you played with on for softball? I think you was on KFC.
Rebels.
Rebels.
I was Rebels.
And in those days, you guys were playing on the on the what you call it, on the
There behind Caribbean Lumber.
yeah, the Ben Flan there, the cricket
Yes.
field, the current
Yeah.
cricket field,
Yeah.
Caribbean Lumber ballpark.
Caribbean Lumber, yeah.
Yeah. So softball in those days. Now tell me a bit about the softball in those days. How it was? It was mainly baseball players coming over to softball. Or?
No, they had a mix. They had some baseball players, but they had a mix of softball players. Some don't play baseball. But it was very good atmosphere because every Saturday and Sunday the field was packed.
Packed with people.
Packed with people. You understand? And it was very, very entertaining because it was girls and men. And there were more than 10 teams. You understand? So it was like 6 or 7 girl teams and the same thing with men teams. And it was very competitive.
So you guys played slow pitch or modified or fast pitch?
Modified. We played modified in a couple of years we played fast pitch.
The Rebels softball team. Who was on that team with you? Right?
Okay, that was Flash. That's Claret.
Okay.
Tony
Gomes.
Myself. Rudolph Baptist. DJ Ruby.
What? DJ Ruby has what position did DJ Ruby play?
Center field, brother.
Okay.
Yes, center field. And then we had Pedro used to play with us for a time too, Romley. And then we had who else? Myself, Kenrick, Roy Bailey, Henry Xavier. We had a good squad, man.
Okay.
Very good squad.
Nice. Now, at some point, you went into announcing games, and you became even self a sportcaster. Let's start about let's go a little bit into your sportcasting days, because I think you mentioned briefly that you worked with Elton Richardson, and how did you get into that?
That's a good one. Elton came to my house and he told me, Dave, you want to make some money? I said, doing what? He said, you could buy your wife a nice diamond ring or whatever have you. So I said, sure, I don't mind buying a ring. He said, well, okay, come and let me do some broadcasting on the ball field. I said, you know the game? I said, yeah, I know the game. So he said, come, let me go. And then he said, we went down with him and he put the mic in front of me and he said, okay, it's all yours. And it went good, pretty good the first game. And then he came back again the next weekend and said, hey, you get good compliments, we're doing this again. And
so in those days, how was the broadcasting set up? How would you guys broadcast? Because you're broadcasting there from the Horsey Lake ballpark.
Yes, there was a monitor, there was a speaker, a microphone, and we go through PJ82. There's someone in PJ82,
so somebody had to be in the studio.
Yes.
And they would have to call in.
No, they give us a headphone. So you had your headphones so you could hear what's going on, whether the commercial going on or not. And then after the commercial, then you kick in and you start broadcasting the game. And when you finish, you say, okay, back to the studio. And then they come in with the commercials and stuff like that. And so it was going. But it was really, really, really fun, really fun. And then I knew how to score and all of that. So I just, like I was scoring and say, well, I was really went 1 for 2 so far, and this is what's happened. This is how many.
I guess a little piece in your baseball commentary voice, so that people could a little blast from the past. Like, give us a little, give us a little something, man, so we could hear.
Okay, well.
So it's in the top of the third.
It's top of the third inning. Aventurin and we got Nalo Jacobs and San Jacobs come up to bat. Aventurin was so far as 1 for 2. He had a grounder and a base hit. And the pitcher on the mound right now is Richard van der Mark. And Richard kicks and delivers. And there's a foul ball. And it's out of play. Next pitch. Aventurin sent one back to center field. There goes Vernon Richards. And Vernon is on it. And he catches it for the first out. Well, there's sports fans. There's something in the air called baseball. It's a fever. Catch it if you can.
Whoa. That's really nice trip down memory lane there, man.
Yeah, we used to have that. We used to have fun with it. And my favorite character was Glenn.
Davis.
Glenn
Davis.
Yes, I used to call him Broken Wing Glenn.
What you used to call him?
Broken wing Glenn.
Why?
Because he was left-hander. And he swing hard. When he swing, he spin around. So I said one of these days he'll break his hand. So he's got broken wing Glenn. And he used to just triple me. It was really, really nice. And that's how it started. And I did it for quite some time. And then
how was baseball organized in those days, though?
Good. Good.
Who were some of the people involved in the organization of baseball?
Sylvia Gibbs. It was Lorenzo was in the umpiring. What's her name? The lady Arrindell. She's deceased now. She married to Billy. He deceased too.
I don't know.
Sidonie Gibbs, Vanslin Brooks, those were the scorers. It was well organized, and every Saturday and Sunday there was a scorer, there was umpires, and it was well organized. Not now, of late, it looked like they're playing politics with everything. If I don't do it, nobody's going to do it. I got to do it. And it's not good for the sport.
What are some of the biggest challenges you recall us having baseball-wise back in those days? What were some of the biggest challenges you had?
To play?
With the sport, because in those days we was in the Netherlands Antilles.
Yes.
So
I didn't. I got a chance. I was selected once, but then I got sick to play against Netherlands when it was held there in St. Maarten. But I didn't get to play because I was sick. But the challenges that I have, I won't say them much. The only thing that I could never forget when I got bumped out of the game for saying cheese and bread.
For selling cheese and bread?
Saying
cheese and bread. Wow.
And that was from...
Which umpire do you that?
Lorenzo. He said, like, keep up here, knife up here. He said, discipline, respect. Cheese and bread.
But that was key back in those days, this discipline and
No, we all had discipline because all your family, everybody was on the field. Like a picnic. They put on, sit down, and then the rock wall, everybody sit down on the grass with the mat and enjoy the game. Sometimes it'd be so hard, some of the people cry and all.
Wow.
Because it was so intense. So intense. That was even with playing in the big league, the AA, it used to be so good. So good.
Now, being in the Netherlands Antilles, and we know Curacao and Aruba were always a little bit more advanced or had more opportunities. How was it did we get much support from through the sports organizations in Curacao and stuff like that to develop baseball up here?
Nope. We had to do it on our own.
Wow.
On our own that we had to do that. But I'm glad to see that we did at least squeeze out a championship, an Antillean championship, because it used to be Curacao or Aruba.
Yeah, we won the Antillean championship.
Yeah, we won the Antillean championship with what's his name on the helm? What's his name? Tony Arnell. That was Simon Pantoflet, Ernie Rumley, and all them.
Okay, yeah. I think it was Cahill Self had won the Antillean championship. But in those days, you used to have the team championship and the selection championship.
Yes.
To represent, where would what kind of tournaments, and we talking now AA, because I remember you used to have the AA championship, Antillean championship used to keep here. I think I saw it here a few times.
Yeah, it was here a couple of times, yes.
And then you used to have the selection as well, but the selection used to participate in those days in the Pan American Games, I think it was.
Yes, correct. And we had a few players too in the Pan American Games. I remember where it was silver. It was what's his name, Marvin, brother,
and Hyacinth, former MP.
Yes, and then had this guy, what's his name,
Alvin Alberts, yeah.
And Ernie, they were
Ernie Rumley.
They was the silver, and then with the gold, which was Pedro Rumley, then that Kunga, then that Simon Pantoflet. And they had, who else? I think Ernie was there with them too. Yeah, Ernie was there with them too. And there was a boy who had to get the home run championship by hitting 6 home runs.
No.
They had him go.
there's always a discussion saying which one of the brothers was the best, Boyko or Ernie, because
Michael.
yeah, but
And both pitching and hitting. And he could have pitched, and he could have hit. But Michael was clean. Michael played first base when he's not pitching, and cannot another he threw first base. And he tell you throw the ball in the ground, throw the ball in the dirt. He don't want to come straight in, throw it in the dirt because he won't pick it. He won't pick the ball. And
pick it up. He want to sweep it up.
He will sweep it up, and that's what I love about him. But he got it from this guy from Kobe, Alvin Hodge.
Alvin Hodge.
He used to pitch he was a first baseman with class.
Yeah. He used to play for Caribbean Lumber, yeah.
He just used to pick him up kind of thing, and just so Michael was. Straight in the dot.
Now, in those days, I think you had a lot of combination of brothers that used to play. Any other noteworthy brothers duo that you remember used to play baseball in those days that you say, boy, this is
unbelievable.
The
Vanderpoels.
Okay, you're talking about Sinclair, the coach.
Sinclair and Frankie. Frankie playing center field. Coach playing left field. A ball hit left center. Coach going for the ball. He going for the ball. Frankie going for the ball. Coach gonna get the ball. So he could jump for the ball. Frankie dove between Coach's leg and catch the ball.
Wow.
You don't ask him. Ask Frankie.
He always on the baseball and softball field these days.
That was the most impossible catch I ever seen in my life.
Wow.
He dove between his leg and catch the ball. And then I see catch. And even what's his name too, Sleepy. He used to play second base for Caribbean Lumber.
Yeah, Boseman.
Yeah. This man never used to catch the ball with the glove, on the side of the glove.
Sleepy. Wow.
And when he puts a tag on he has to longer you see it, the tag. They call it tag.
Now, what about some of the grades that we see mentioned? You had a chance. I didn't see him play. I never got a chance to see him play myself. Naldo Jacobs. We hear a lot about Naldo Jacobs. What was your experiences with some of those top players from St. Maarten? That
you know which my kickhouse is now? You know which kickhouse? It used to be M&M Tire Center.
Correct.
You understand? You know where the home plate is now? Just by the baseball field. Now they used to take it from there and straight all the way down. They're over there. Left-handed.
Wow.
So you could see how far that traveled. He hit the ball hard. Jacobs come, Sam came when we were ready, and
a little up in the age. Because he played most of his years in Aruba.
Yeah. But Nalo hit the ball hard and far.
Wow. Now, tell me about some of the other good batters that you had back in those days. Some of the top batters that you had.
Lou Bailey.
Ooh,
Bailey was a powerhouse.
Wow.
He could bat. Then they had this guy too. He mightn't look it, but he was also a very good batter. Alan Reed.
Okay, yeah.
He used to hit very good too. And I think he used to play Banco Popular. He used to hit ball very, very good. And then we had Tyndale Skeet was a very good batter. And
he ride bicycle now, man. He's a bicycle rider now. He out of the baseball thing, but I remember him. He was strong with the glove and the bat.
Pablo Young too used to play very good. He was a very good third baseman and hit the ball good. He played a couple of other things for Caribbean as well. He had some very good batters, man. Very, very good batters.
Pitching. Who were some of the strongest pitchers that you faced during your career as a baseball player, man?
Believe it or not, what's his name? Claudius Harley.
Claudius Harley. Yeah.
The ball can't reach, but he can't hit it.
When you see the ball can't reach, but he can't.
So slow, but he can't hit it. He was a very good pitcher. The deceased to Tyndale brother, which was Kenrick Skeet, Red Force Skeet. He was also a good pitcher, but they had one there, James. Alfred James. He came from Aruba and nothing but smoke. But I like that because he all you gotta do is put the stick on the bat, it make contact and it gone. But with Claudius Harley and skate the ball coming so slow, you gotta put your own power to hit the ball. So it's like it ain't reaching and you're anxious to hit the ball, so you swing it over the ball. But we have some very good pitchers. And then there's Maximo Medina, one from the Dominican Republic. He was also good. And Manfred used to play, but Manfred wasn't that hot. Charlie Moyers wasn't that hot. Charlie used to pitch too, but he wasn't that hot. But those were the guys. And Barber too. Barber used to throw hard. He used to throw very, very hard. And then Mandola had this guy on his team. I don't remember his name. A tall, lanky.
Stanford
used to play for Banco Popular. That was with Jimmy Bell.
Okay.
I think it was Lon Peters.
Oh, Lon Peters. Yeah. Lon Peters.
Yeah, he used to throw hard. He was kind of wild, but he used to throw hard too. Yeah.
Now, at a certain moment, we know that when the competition started to heat up here, you can remember when they started to bring him, because you mentioned Medina, but Medina, they brought Medina here to play ball, or?
No, Medina came here, I think, to live in there. The deceased O'Neill Richardson hold on to him and hooked him up with the Dodgers.
O'Neill was managing Dodgers at the time.
Yeah.
Because at a certain moment, we saw that trend where they started to bring in some teams, start to reinforce and bring in players.
The guy Bimbo who came with Kobe, the catcher.
Bimbo came from Aruba.
Yeah, he came from Aruba, yeah. He and then that two Japanese too came in.
Japanese?
Yeah, Japanese. Well, we had the fishing boat. Not Japanese, Korean. Who do the fishing boat? Who has the fishing boat there? There was a pitcher and a catcher. They were good too. The pitcher was good.
Okay.
Yeah.
How did that change the dynamics of the game, though?
It was good. I was feeling the game was good. Everybody on the field, everybody wanted to know what's going on. It was tense. The field used to be full on Sundays and Saturdays.
That was the place to be.
Yeah, we didn't have no night game. We didn't have no lights. But every Saturday and Sunday, you go in direction field, baseball.
Everybody in St. Maarten make their way to Coolsack.
Everybody on the way to Coolsack, my brother. Everybody. You used to have cricket, but nah, baseball. Everybody in the baseball field. It was good. I wish those days could come back. I know for sure we'll have some players going in the scouts now.
Well, we just had a young man, Jeremiah Jones
from San Francisco.
He just gets signed for San Francisco, so that's definitely a great accomplishment.
Yeah, even I had with the magazine and stuff like that, because this guy too, Skeet, Raphael signed with the AAA Baltimore, and I think he played one game in the majors, and before they released him because discipline. If you don't have no discipline, you can't make it. And then Glenn Patterson also, but he got chips in his arm.
With his elbow,
With his elbow. And this guy too, who had it made, was to go to the majors, and they found him dead the next day, which was Harley.
Yeah,
Alan. I did some interview with this guy. They used to call him the Harley Comet. That's what he was, the Harley Comet.
He was throwing so hard.
He was throwing so hard. You understand? As soon as the White Sox pick him up, they say the next day, Ben Flan called me, tell me that, boy, Alan dead. I said, Alan dead? I said, just signed with the White Sox, just picked him up and he said, he found him dead, overdose or a medication or something like that. You understand? Yeah. And then Peter Ambrosina.
Peter as well.
Yeah, he was there.
He was a great talent as well, yeah.
Yeah, on his way to work. Because he was working in the complex, on his way to work, getting an accent. Just signed with the Cardinals. Passed away. So we had our chances, but hey.
Well, let's hope that Jones is able to make it and put us on the map, because I believe that once, even though he played a lot of baseball, his last couple of years he was in Curacao.
Yes.
But once it
I
puts
think
us
after
on
the
the map.
hurricane, he went to Curacao, so.
Correct. That's why I heard that he went to Curacao, but he came back here a few years ago, or last year, 2 years ago, with the Royal Scorpions. He was
Yes.
pitching for Royal Scorpions.
Yes.
Yeah. He came back when they had the invitational tournament here. Now, at a certain moment, we was on sportcasting. What other roles you play in the media?
Well, I had also my talking. I had a program on LBC TV, Let's Talk Sports,
Okay.
where I used to.
What year that was?
That was in 94, 93, 94, where I had invited guests to talk about it, give all the sports reports.
You can remember who was your first guest on that program?
Sure. What's his name? Cedric James.
Cedric James.
Yeah, because Cedric James was high up in the volleyball and stuff like that.
Okay.
And he was my first guest. On the thing I had Debbie Rumley and Lorenzo Gibbs. Who was that? I quite.
So back in those days, the LBC TV, because a lot of people may not know what we're talking about. Where LBC TV station? Where that was located and how?
That was right down Front Street in front of right down on Front Street in front of the City Hotel.
Okay.
Upstairs building there next to.
Where McDonald's was?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Where the McDonald's was.
And there every give all my sports reports. And that was,
so when you go in there, how the setup was back in those 1994? Because I mean, right now, everything is a little camera.
Yeah,
your telephone.
There was a studio. There was John Hart and Ricardo Williams, and there was the next gentleman, a lady used to be there with us too. They had this all camera monitors and stuff. We had a desk. Just go. It was my turn to put the sports curtain, and we go.
It was a live program.
Yeah, yes, very live. Yes,
live program you're doing. Okay.
Yes, and it was fun. It was fun.
Wait, was that our program or half an hour program?
Mine was a half an hour. Because
what was the cost involved with producing a half an hour program back in those days? It was free of charge. How that work?
That was for me. That was my payment by what's the name, Sam Hazel. He used to pay me to do the news, sporting news. So I was gonna ask him if I was interested in doing a TV program. So I said, okay, let's talk sports. That's why I came up with Let's Talk Sports, and I bring in a guest for a half an hour and stuff like that. So I asked him the cost. So Sam Hazel said, no problem. You doing my sports? That's classes, that's free of charge. You go ahead. So he tells John Hart and Ricardo, or he tape him, and I don't have to pay.
So Let's Talk Sports. Your first guest was Cedric James.
Yep.
Which other program that you did that on Let's Talk, or which other person you interviewed on Let's Talk Sports that stands out in your memory, even self today, as a memorable guest on that program?
Debbie Rumley.
That's Pedro
brother.
Sister.
She was with the softball team.
The Angels.
No,
she wasn't with the Angels.
No, that was the team here from. I used to call them Merry Losers. Sorry, but I can't remember.
The Merry Losers.
Hey, there was a bunch of girls that stick together, whether blow high, blow low, blow.
They ain't giving up on each other.
Always there. There was Debbie, Tina, Jane Gums, my sister. They were from right there, St. Peters, but they were good. And she gave me an interview, and it was up to par. I even was told to repeat it by the viewers. That actually repeat it. I would like to know where those tapes are, because in Eduardo, Arrindell, he has those tapes. There's some big tapes.
Back in those days, well,
yeah.
Everybody, when you ask them these days for those old tapes, they'll tell you Hurricane Louis smash up everything. They ain't get the roof went, they ain't get to save nothing.
No, Hurricane.
But that's an important part of our history, sporting history that gone.
Yes.
I was able to put my hands on some of the Champion Review books from William Allen, and that really have a a wealth of information in it. I have a few years. I have 1979 come up. I have a few years, so I have some history. But the tapes, we've not been able to get anything at all. I don't know if Mr. Dwight Barron have anything, but
I don't know. But he was mostly on profile of the Windward Islands.
Okay.
You know, more like a historical thing, but not much on sports. But every time a man prints at one, he makes sure I get a championship. And I'm loaded even a black, just one page with sports. You know, like a page with sports and what playing, what come up for the weekend with softball. I did a thing too with Benito, a Spanish guy was running.
Okay.
Hey, that was good too. And then I had a girl there from St. Peters, Cathy, she used to run to long distance run. That was also
Cathy. I see her 1979. I remember the book from William Allen, 1979. She was the athlete of the year together with what you call it. What's her first name now? I can't remember her name. Yeah. I know you're talking about.
But she and this guy, the same guy, Spanish guy Benito, only person. Nobody could have touched him at all. And then they used to have it frequently, almost every other weekend, of like race or run around the island or. Yeah.
Okay.
It was an in thing. All like Tap and all that used to run for.
He was into running.
Yeah.
No, was it easy back in those days to get people to come on the program? Because people they were anxious and willing to come. Wow.
Yeah. Seriously, they were willing to come on.
I mean, I do radio interviews now, and listen, it's sometimes so difficult to get some people to come on it, especially the athletes. Why this is sometimes like pulling teeth, you know, and you want to document, things with them for the future, but they themselves sometimes are very reluctant to come out. So I'm amazed to hear that back then it was so easy.
Yeah, even though we had like I think it was 7 teams, and I used to do the program when the sports program, when they give us the scores and the thing from baseball, football, and softball. And the team from the softball, each softball team, like today, I'll put on Kentucky shot. Tomorrow, I'll put on the Rebels shot. And they will come and be willing to offer me, hey, take my shot today, take my shot today, take my shot today.
Okay.
When are you going to get interview? So every night, I don't have different softball shot, giving all the scores and stuff like that.
So you used to go around and get all the results and stuff like that from all the games. So besides baseball, we know I hear a lot of people say that cricket was dominant back in those days.
Oh yes, even that.
Any memories you got from cricket and some of the players involved in cricket back in those times?
The players I might have a problem with the names and stuff like that, but I remember Sunday I was home and I hear I'm knocking on my door, and it was the Performers Cricket Club manager came to my door and said, hey partner, I want you to go station with us because we're going station to play cricket, and I want you to tape it. I want you to tape the game for me in station. I said, what? He said, yeah, we got your passage, everything. All you got to do is put on your clothes and let's go.
Well, you had any experience with cricket?
Yes.
Yeah.
My mother played cricket and my father played cricket. That's how my father get to know my mother playing cricket.
I don't understand the game for the life of me. But if
you get someone that knows the game of cricket and sit you down while the game playing and explain you the game, you get to understand it very quickly. It's a very nice game. It's long, but it's a very nice game.
So I see the Performer Cricket Club. They recognize you back in 1994 for your work that you did with them.
They just come back and say, hey, listen, put on clothes, we're going to stay short. And I with this big camera there also on top of my head, on top of my shoulder also, and taping the whole game.
So after you taped the game, then you had to come back St. Maarten, edit it to put it on the program, or how did that work?
No, I edited it and then I give it to them.
Oh, okay. So
it was I get to take the scores and what the results that came up of the game, and I give them the tape.
But in those days there was no no way that you guys would pass a sporting a game on TV.
Yes.
Yeah, that you guys used to do that as well.
Softball, yes.
Yeah.
John Hart was responsible for that.
Okay.
Every Sunday we would pick up a girls' game, and he would tape it. I would be the announcer, and he passes it over to LBC TV.
Okay.
Yeah, that was very nice.
Okay.
Yes.
And how much cameras you guys use? Just one camera?
Two. Yeah, the girl, I'm trying to remember her name and all. Like, sorry, I can't remember her name, but I think she's still doing it. And I was in the box. He on the left, she on the right, and then he put it together, and then when you go edit it, and he put it on the thing the same day.
What was the best in that period? What was the best softball team in the male division and the female division? Who was really clocking, dominating back in those days in softball?
I wasn't, tell you the truth, I was sitting by, everybody was pong for pong, you know.
Okay. So
it was the Colonels, it was the Rebels, it was, what the guys I'm naming from Curacao, everybody was pong for pong where the male is concerned.
Okay, so it was...
where the female was concerned, more or less was Marcus girls, and was the top of the line. Then come the Cahill girls. But where the male was concerned, it was pong for pong, brother. Pete Richardson thought he had the best, but
he was from the Colonels.
Colonels, yeah, with Sam, Nalo, and all them. But they got some big. They play baseball, right? And once you play baseball, it's different. It's different than softball. You understand? No matter how big, no matter baseball, the ball moves different than the softball, and the ball is bigger. You think you'll be able to hit it fast, easier, but it's not so.
No, I read somewhere that at a certain moment, softball started to kind of influence baseball negatively because softball became much popular.
Yes.
Tell me about.
Yeah, because that's like what I say with the baseball. Everybody like it was more political, and you pull in this, you pull in that. It got to be this way or no way at all. If it's in my way, no way. So then they say, hey, tell me you might go down to softball for you, drink some beers and play softball.
Well, did the age factor start to creep in that a lot of the players prefer the slower ball instead of that fast ball?
No. No, not that. That's just that some people think that they should, if they don't have no say, it can't work, and that was wrong.
That was the issue.
You understand? We went to St. John's, a little place they also past St. Croix and St. Thomas. We went to some Molson tournament. You understand? 12 of us. 13 of us. And what we have seen there, and what they have seen of we, they didn't believe we exist for the quality of softball that we played. And this was fast pitch.
Fast pitch?
Fast pitch.
Wow.
We had two fast pitchers. One was my cousin Cecil, and one was Pete. Pete get knocked out with Cecil. Pete get knocked out of first inning.
Cecil Lake?
No, Cecil Arrindell. And he pitched all the rest of the game. I didn't get a better story. We went to Tortola. And we played against the Pan American champions. The Pan American champions, they just became Pan American champions. They came from Venezuela to win the Pan American champions in softball. Cecil had those guys 2-0 until the 9th inning.
Wow. 2-0
until the 9th inning. And we lost on an error by Sam Jacobs.
Wow.
An error. The ball was straight three leg. And it was a hot shot in the moment. A little block. Not too sure we didn't put it back in a straight 3 legs. And that's how we lost the game. And you know what the guys did? Those guys collect some change, put it in Cecil's hand, and say, Pap, that's you. You see, we just come on the Pan American game. We never had the opportunity, the thing the problem that we had today with you. They wanted him to stay. They said they'll give him a job, they give him work.
To stay over there.
Stay over there and pitch for them.
And he didn't. He refused.
No, because he worked in GB here.
Okay.
And the next one was Everton Daniel.
Yeah. I remember Everton.
They wanted him to stay over there too. We tell him, no, you got a job. They said, what you do? He said, I'm a mechanic. He said, man, we got a job up here, man.
Mm-hmm.
He said, no, you coming, man. We traveled and we made St. Maarten a name out there in Salvador.
What year that was? What year that was, Dave?
That was in 1993.
93.
93, yeah.
Now let's go back a bit on your media, because you were, besides the program Let's Talk Sports, you told me now you were doing the daily sports news.
Yes.
So that would come on every day after the news.
Every day after the news.
So you were only focused, you were only doing, that was the only thing that you were doing. You wasn't doing no other work than that, just sports all day.
The sports, just the sports results.
Mm-hmm.
Like from the baseball, the football, the cricket.
How easy it was to get those things back in those days? Because these days you got WhatsApp, everybody could send you a WhatsApp.
Yes.
In those days you got a call and you got to go see people personally.
No, I used to work at the post office.
Mm-hmm.
So I made contacts with all the associations, and I make sure that whoever was in charge of the, how you call it?
The scoring.
The scoring and stuff like that, they would tell them, drop the scoring and drop it off at the post office for me. Just put my name in and drop it off for me. So when it comes there, I just go to the radio station, give it off, or Steven Cerulean or there was someone else would call me, and I would fax it to them. They said, no, don't fax me no paper. You have to read it out.
Okay.
So I had to read the scores and the results for them, and that's how it goes. But they use information. Anybody wants wherever any activity happening in sports, I was fortunate enough that they will come and drop it off. Hey, Dave, we having such and such an event at this location. Or we having football here, we have our fundraising. Yeah, we having the Heineken Regatta. Mm-hmm. They used to treat me good too. They used to call me, tell me, keep meeting with, when I have a meeting and stuff like that, they call me, tape the meeting, how they're setting up and stuff like that. So it was all good.
I could never understand the results from the Heineken Regatta and how did they raise. I could never understand them, and I promise I gotta do an interview with Robbie Ferran and them, but I can never understand how did a race and
you gotta go around the buoy. Go around the buoy, and then you got cut, you got tackled.
And then they got so much different classes. That's the other part that I could never really pull up on those different classes. Too much different classes.
Yeah, it was nice. I enjoy it because you get to meet a lot of people from Antigua, from Tortola, from St. John's, you know, and you talk to them how it was and stuff like that. I say I had a lot of info, a lot of info, and I had a good bit of tapes, but like they were not my own. I had to leave them when the tape full. I leave it in the studio. Because I even was telling her the other day I had an interview with Hensley Merlins when he first came here.
For Lit League.
That
was in the 90s or sometime that he came.
91. Yeah. And I had an exclusive interview with him. I had an interview with Andrew Jones when he first came to St. Maarten down at Maho, when he took over St. Peters from Marcus Grissom from the Atlanta Braves.
He came here on vacation?
No, he came here especially to talk to Ben Flan.
Okay.
Because Ben Flan was then the president of the Baseball Association.
Okay.
So Ben Flan sent my invitation, and he and his father came down, and they spent 3 days.
Okay.
And we had that was a very good interview, nice interview.
You can remember, talking to Hensley Merlins at that time. Why at that time already Hensley Merlins was so good that you pulled him out, I think, to have an interview with him from the Curacao team?
No. When Hensley Merlins came here, he was still in the AAA farm system, and he was doing, that's why they were calling him Bam Bam Merlins, and he came down here to work with some players from us here. Give them some tips and stuff like that. So he was up at the Baco Ballpark, give them tips.
You were giving a clinic?
A clinic, yes. So I asked him if it's possible I could have an interview with him. So he asked me who I am. I said, I'm live from LBC TV. He looked at me and said, "You're a little too young for that." I said, "No, okay." He said, "Okay, no problem. Give him 20 minutes," and then he comes down and talk to me. And it was all like this conversation. He said, "Man, hey, it was nice." And then he signed his cap what he had on, he gave it to me and said, we should do this again. I said, "Sure, man, we should do it." So I wish him luck.
Now, over the years, you've been involved in sports. If you look at sports development on St. Maarten, what would you have liked for us to see being done differently, to advance the sport on St. Maarten much more? Or maybe you contented with what we were able to accomplish?
No, I was doing I can't agree with that. No. I was doing what I would like to see, right? I have to blame the government on this behalf. Why I have to blame the government? Because a lot of things could have been done. You understand? Because in the beginning, when you form a team, you have to get your papers and act together to make sure that you're sanctioned, you have a body and stuff like that. You understand? So if you want any funds, you go to the government to get funds. But when you go to the government, they never have funds. And I see ways and means that they could always get funds, like the 1 cent on gasoline. That one with the man put it on the thing. They make so much money, it went good. We didn't see a cent. Then Samuel came up with it. Make so much money, then you have to put it on record. I see no sense. We never used to get no money from the government. You understand? When anything we had to do, when we were traveling, we had to keep barbecue or go down KB there by the dance hall along there and keep dance to go, raise funds to go. You understand? And now I heard, like I was listening to your program, when you had those people from the sports department, now I hear something is being done. And they got to get the act together and get the freedom up in shape. Trust me. We got what we got. Let's take care of it before we don't have nothing at all.
What do you think about the development of the athletes in general compared to the talented then and now? What you're seeing?
They don't want to get a finger with the girls. They don't want to get the fingers dirty. They want to keep the long hair. With the men, they just want to. I don't know. I really don't know. They maybe want to just go on and play games on video and stuff like that. They don't want to mess with the dots or nothing like that. Compared to now to then, the athletes, we're close to who we were, my brother. Sometimes, like I tell you, when we lose a game, some of us cry. You understand? Because we used to take it to heart. We play with heart and soul.
And you got to wait a whole week because bragging rights.
Exactly. Yeah, you got that. Yeah, you got it. It's bragging rights. It's bragging rights. You understand? I got 2 trophies here, so I don't cherish them every day.
What's 2 trophies those are?
One is MVP and one is I call it best battle.
MVP for which year? We gotta talk about that. Wait there. Let me pause.
Nice. Okay.
Okay, so this is a full. That's softball or baseball? Ball.
The baseball then we get kind of mashed up.
So that when you treasure everything in your hand.
Hey, you know what people were fighting for that? And went up against some tough competition.
To get an MVP award.
Yeah.
So that's definitely a major accomplishment.
Yep. I got some plaques from, for instance, from Nagico for the job I did in the sports, how you call it, broadcasting. And I got some recognition from. I also got some recognition from the government. Okay.
Well, how much years you did the sports reporting on LBC? Because I didn't ask that.
LBC it was about till 95, 3 years.
3 years.
Yeah.
And Let's Talk was also 3 years.
Yeah.
3 years ago, I think.
Okay. So this is from the Pioneers of Sports Award recognition, Dave Arrindell, supporter of softball from 1970 to 1995. Wow. That's a long time.
Yeah.
That's a long time, definitely. Now we're coming down to the end of the program there, Dave. Anything you wanted to talk about that I didn't ask you? Anything you wanted to mention that I omitted to ask you about?
Not really, no, but I just like it. But I thank my family because remember I have a wife and 3 children, and most of the time, especially on the weekend, I used to be gonna leave them and want to go to the
Sacrifice
beach,
a lot of time.
sacrifice at the time. But the children don't mind because once I'm going in the field,
They get to go along.
they follow with me and then they'll just tell them to go when they're hungry.
Any of them following your footsteps and went into sports?
None of them.
No.
2 girls and 1 boy. None of them. The boys are one of the oldest daughters in Holland, and the youngest one here, but none of them. But otherwise, I can't complain. I'm satisfied. Been there, done that. So I'm contented.
All right, so it's customary that when we do with sportscasters, when we closing off, they got to take us out as the way how they used to close off their program. You know, every sportscaster, everybody have a punchline that they'll close off the program with. I guess you have one, so I could give you yours to take me out, to take us out on it with this one.
Well, sports fans, there you had it. Another very interesting and very serious topic that we had today. You saw what went down. You didn't miss anything. It was well played, well said, well documented. Hope you enjoy it. Have fun. God bless and stay safe. Ciao.
All right.